It is hard to heal the wound after betrayal. Betrayal is one of the most painful experiences that we can go through. It doesn't matter if it's from your partner, a friend or a family member. Anytime someone breaks your trust, it opens a wound. It takes a long time to heal the wound after betrayal. Sometimes it never happens. And we all know that the hurt is greater the more you trust the person who betrays you. But you can't exactly file every disappointment under the betrayal category. The fact is that as humans, we all fail each other once in a while. There are times when we cannot live up to the circumstances and end up disappointing the people we love. We are much harsher against people who betray us in connection with minor things than people who betray others grossly. François de Roquefoucauld. But the kind of betrayal that hurt and leaves a wound is the kind that people don't get into by accident. They do so in full awareness of their wrongdoing and for completely selfish reasons. It's the kind that comes from someone who has assured you of something, but acts completely different when the truth comes out. The different types of betrayal. There is more than one kind of betrayal. On the one hand, there is betrayal of yourself. On the other hand, there is the kind that people do to you. Most people think of love when they think of it, but it's not the only kind there is. All the different ways to betray someone have two things in common. Firstly, you deviate from something expressly or implicitly determined in advance. Second, you take advantage of the other person's trust. When we betray people, we betray agreements and expectations, along with hopes and promises. We betray people with our words and actions. Anyone who has been betrayed has had a taste of the most bitter deception. They feel undervalued and made fun of. Their thoughts, feelings and expectations have been completely overlooked. They became nothing more than an object in the other person's machinations. In other words, the other person objectified them and used them. That is why betrayal is so painful and leaves such a deep wound. And it is difficult to heal the wound after betrayal. To heal the wound of betrayal. The most toxic effect of betrayal is that you leave the betrayed person deeply distrustful. And it can also include other people, not just you. Having to deal with another person having two sides is a really heavy blow that generally doesn't heal on its own. That is why it is so important to find a way to overcome the betrayal. Here are some of the keys to doing just that. Assess the situation. It is important to find out what exactly led to the betrayal. In particular, you must take a careful look at whether or not they have intentionally betrayed you. Your intent really matters. Don't blame yourself. Although the betrayed person is the victim, very often they end up blaming themselves for what happened. They punish themselves by telling themselves how stupid they were over and over again. But you should never take responsibility for what someone else did. Treat yourself well. Accept what happened. You can try to deny what happened, but you don't want to move forward that way. The best thing is to accept what happened and find out if there is a solution to it or not. Give yourself time. For the most part, betrayal will leave you emotionally completely unsettled. It's good to give yourself time to recover from the initial shock and get a clearer picture of what happened. Create a balance. As humans, we all make a mess once in a while. You must never forget that. As difficult as it may be, it is really important to strike a balance. Search for the path to forgiveness. Forgiveness does not mean accepting what happened without consequences. Nor does it mean acting as if nothing happened. It's about feeling good about yourself and learning to leave the past in the past. Betrayal is always a bitter pill to swallow, but it doesn't have to lead to lifelong trauma. The first thing you need to do if you have been betrayed and want to heal the wound of betrayal is to try to get your balance back. It's the only way to move forward. Don't let another person's actions affect the rest of your life.